James Thomas, here we are. It's movies, it's Oscars, it's CCA. But right now, we're going to talk about Dead Man's Wire, a movie that's opening this weekend. Tony, you want to tell us what it's about, or you want me to tell them what it's about?
You go ahead and take it away.
Okay, it's actually based on a true story back in 1977. Yes, a kidnapping of a prominent banker grips the nation and turns the abductor into an outlaw folk hero. You can see the picture behind him. Yes, that's Tony, who's the policeman in the background. You can't see his face, but that's actually Tony. Tony's actually about 90 years old. But anyway, tell us about what you thought about Dead Man's Wire.
I thought it was really intriguing. I thought, it was a nice reflection of the times. It reminds you of kind of how we fell in love with news stories. We saw the film last year that covered the incident at the Olympics and this like really breaking ground news coverage at the time. And I won't give it away spoilers on how it ends, but it's a reflection of society today and really how some people get away with certain things or not. But it was really entertaining. I like Gus Van Sant did a good job. But it really boils down to Bill Skarsgård, who's fully committed here, and he does always have these wild, unhinged performances, but it's so textured and just comes across so straight that that's why it works so well, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're right. Skarsgård's in it. Darcy Montgomery's in it. Al Pacino's in it. Carl Ewells and Coleman Domingo has a very interesting part in this movie, and based on a true story. Very interesting. Actually, I'm going to give this 3.5, maybe 4 out of 5. What do you think?
I'm at a 3.5 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. I think a lot of people are gonna be surprised by the true element of this film as well. And it really is shocking, especially if you think about the time period it takes place in, that it's really incredible that it even happened.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's move on. Tony and I are both members of CCA, Critics' Choice Association, who just had their awards this weekend. Tony warned me. He warned me, and he was right. Best Actor went to Timothy Chalamet for Marty Supreme. You talk about it because I didn't believe in him. You did.
Look, this to me was a no-brainer. It was a very competitive year for Best Actor. I thought that there's a lot of performances that only one could win. That's how it always goes. But Leo gave a great performance. I thought that Wagner Moore and The Secret Agent was fantastic. A lot of people didn't start talking about for Blue Moon. I'm blanking on his name right now. I apologize.
Yeah, Ethan
Ethan
Hawke.
Hawke,
Yeah,
and that's another fantastic performance this year. But Timothy Chalamet, he said this had the speech last year that he wants to be one of the greats and he aspires to it. And a lot of people thought, it's cocky, it's arrogance. But he really put that as this year, this performance of Marty Supreme is a realization, a manifestation of that dream that he has, and he fully deserves this award. And I think that will continue as well.
it's very interesting. Again, you and I talked about it earlier. I didn't care for the movie. I still haven't seen all of it yet. I didn't like the character. But what I did like at the awards is what Timothy did. He sent a shout out to who? Michael B. Jordan and said, "Hey, man, I've already seen it twice. I'm getting ready to see it again. I love your performance. I love the movie." I really thought Michael B. Jordan was going to win on that. You know what? Here's the other thing. Speaking of Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler, Best Picture went to one battle after another, and I had to watch it again just to say, okay, we'll go with this because it really was a competition between one battle and Sinners. What do you think?
100%. It really was. I thought that the scales really tipped once Paul Thomas Anderson won Best Director. That's when I really felt like, okay, one battle is going to get Best Picture. But it really is, and I put this in my top three of the year between that, Sinners, and Marty Supreme. I really think it's an easy three-horse race for the best film of the year. I think One Battle slightly edges Sinners, but there were three generational films this year, in my opinion, that are going to live on for a very long time in cinema. It's just a shame that only one gets to take home the prize.
That is a shame. It's very interesting. Ryan Coogler did win for original screenplay for his movie for Sinners. Okay, let's talk about best adapted screenplay because now we're back to one battle after another. Paul Thomas Anderson won for best adapted screenplay. Talk about that.
Yeah, this to me was not a surprise. To see the two best films of the year each win the respective category in screenplay. I was pretty much expecting this. I think that Marty could have been an interesting, twist because there are some jolting one-liners in that film and some writing. But at the end of the day, I think that, like we said, Coogler 100% deserves his win, and I think that PTA does as well.
So I think he won as far as one battle after another. They won 3 academies and Sinners won 4. Is that correct?
I believe so.
Yeah, and Sinners got the best casting and ensemble. Francine Maisler for Sinners. She put all that cast together and they had everybody on stage. That was really kind of cool too, which is very interesting because what was the other person that won from Sinners? Somebody else won from Sinners, didn't they?
Best score, and then Miles Caton, 100%
Said
deservingly.
new young actor. Yes,
Hmm.
that was amazing. How many months? 3 months to learn guitar? Was it
I
three or
think it
two
was,
months?
I think he said 6 or 7 he spent, but yeah,
Okay,
I can't
yeah,
remember.
yes. Miles Canton playing the guitar, best young actor. He won the award from that from Critics' Choice Association. Does that mean he's going to win it also for the Oscars?
I don't believe the Academy Awards has that.
Uh,
Unfortunately, they should. But for Miles, what I really loved about his performance is he got to something in his role that actors of it's so far beyond his years without question, but that actors of all ages, men, women, doesn't matter. They strive for that their entire careers, and so many don't even achieve that. So the fact that he did that at such a young age is truly impressive.
it was very impressive. Best actress, Jessie Buckley for Hamnet. I like that. What did you think?
100%. I would have been upset, honestly, if anybody else won. I thought she deserved it. I thought that her performance was just gut-wrenching and heartbreaking. 100% deserved. I would have been very surprised if anybody else took it, in my opinion.
Well, the other surprise was not too much of a surprise, but yes, it was a surprise. Jacob Elordi, Best Supporting Actor, Frankenstein. Man, he played Frankenstein.
He did 100%. I didn't see him getting the win here. I thought that was very surprising. We're talking about all award season or all the prep for award season. We're talking about the heavy hitters, Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, Paul Mescal's just sitting there. Then you're wondering, okay, is Delroy Lindo going to get an appearance here? It's just been a wide open category because every now and then somebody else has stepped up as the favorite. Oh, Stellan Skarsgård as well from Sentimental Value. And it's just, and now you have core six that's going to have to get whittled down to 5 for the Academy Awards, and somebody deservingly is gonna unfortunately be left off that list.
Speaking of sweeping the awards during the war season, Best Animated Feature, Zootopia #2 was okay, but K-pop Demon Hunters won for Best Animated Feature. It was great to see the entire cast there, not only the voices, but the singers too. They were there along with the directors and executive producers.
I mean, that took the world by storm. I remember when I reviewed that film when it came out, and I was like, this seems like I enjoyed it more than I should personally, but I'm like, this seems like it's gonna take off, and whoa, did it. You can't go anywhere without hearing the song, kids talking about it, adults talking about it. I mean, I just, it's not a surprise at all. I think it just slightly edges Zootopia 2 because I did think that was a very good film. But for me, K-pop was the way to go.
Let's not forget one more category that we're talking about is best comedy. The Naked Gun won the CCA award for best economy comedy. What did you think about that?
I was pretty surprised. Didn't know which way this category was going to go. You could easily, honor some of these, more the comedies, if you will, that they're given for some of the bigger films. But I thought The Naked Gun, when we talked about when it came out, it was a reminder of films they don't make anymore. So to see them still honor that was really kind of a nice touch. But we didn't touch on supporting actress yet either, and that's one that
Ooh, okay. Let's talk about best supporting actress, and that's Amy Madigan in Weapons. That was totally a surprise. A witch winning. Go ahead.
this is the biggest surprise for me of the night. And I'm not saying she doesn't deserve it. I
Mhm.
just was very surprised that our body went in that direction. I thought that Tiana was going to win. That was my number one choice. So I thought Amy was going to be kind of in that 3-4 spot that even though when this whole talk of award season started, we weren't even sure if she was going to be in that list. So
Mhm.
to see her win, that we'll see if that momentum carries at the Gold Globes this weekend. But for me, that was the biggest surprise of the night.
If it does carry the Golden Globes and carries into the Oscars, that's another reason, they're making a Weapons too. That's in the works.
Oh, I mean, there's no reason not to. Look how much money it made, the
Yeah.
cultural sensation that it was, the phenomenon, if you will. Yeah, there's no reason not to go back to that well.
You mentioned something about Tiana, and when I looked at one battle after another again, yeah, that was kind of interesting that she wasn't up there, didn't win for Best Supporting Actress because she was a beast in that.
Mm-hmm.
She
100%.
did.
And that's the thing. Like I like this year to see that so many performances with limited screen time really came back to the forefront because a lot of our past winners have been females and males, that are dominating the screen way more than a supporting role would.
Mhm.
So it was nice to see these limited screen performances that really made a massive impact where the film wouldn't be the same without them. So it was nice to see kind of a balance back to that category.
The last category we're going to talk about, because I haven't seen it yet, but I think you did see it. Best foreign language film, The Secret Agent. Talk about that.
Look, this was the most competitive foreign language category in a long time. There are some great films that didn't even get nominated. That's how competitive this year has been for me. I personally, while I'm fine with it winning. It is a very good film. There's no question. I'm surprised that's the direction it went with sentimental value, and it was just an accident sitting there as well. I would love to see what the polling was because I do think it was probably close, but it is a very deserving film. But we need to present this on camera, giving it to him on the red carpet and then having giving him 5 seconds to talk about it. For me, it's that's something that I'm hoping they're going to send a survey out to us. It sounds like, because this is something that it's our responsibility to get the word out to these films to the masses, and to just mention it for 5 seconds isn't enough.
No, you got it absolutely right. Critics' Choice Association Awards was this past weekend. It was great to talk about that. Golden Globes is actually going to happen tomorrow evening, Sunday evening. Go ahead and watch it. And always go to the big screen. Don't wait for it to come out on streaming. Go to the big screen, because you're going to really enjoy the experience. That's all the time we've got. Have a great weekend.